The next part of our website optimization talk is going to be around mobile friendliness and the speed of your website. So, mobile friendliness. Back in 2015, Google changed their algorithm, the way it works, and the way they display web page results on Google to favor mobile friendly sites, because that's about when searches on mobile devices took over searches on desktop computers. So it's really, really important that you know how your web page displays on a mobile device, a phone or a tablet, and also how it displays on a desktop computer. Most of the themes that you can get through WordPress or Squarespace or Wix or whatever the platform you guys use should have responsive options in the themes that you use. So it's really important that you look for that when you're looking for a theme or your web designer is creating something. If you're using a web designer these days, I guarantee you they will create your website to be responsive. And basically what that means is that the website will detect the display that it's showing up on. So it'll know that it's showing up on a phone, or it'll know that it's showing up on a desktop, and it will change the way it looks to suit that device. So it's easy to see, it's easy to navigate, the writing's nice and big on the phone, not really, really small. You may have jumped on a website on your phone before and noticed that it's super, super small. You can't see any of the text at all. You've got to zoom in, and when you zoom in, you can only see one portion of the actual screen on the website. So what's happened there is they've got a site that's suitable for desktop, but it's not a responsive site, so it just displays in the same format and the same layout on a mobile device, which means it gets shrunk really, really small. So because Google will display mobile sites above the desktop only sites, it's really important that we pay attention to that, guys. So throughout this website optimization phase, I would probably recommend that if you don't have a web designer, you try and find one that you can contract to and get little bits of work done wherever you can. If your budget's really, really small, you might be able to just get them to help out with little things here and there if you're a bit savvy and you've worked your way through your website up until now. But to optimize it, you're probably going to need a web designer. So then, to go to your page speed. Now, this is all about how fast your website loads. Some of the studies that they've conducted would say that if a page doesn't load within 3 seconds, the majority of users will jump off it and they'll go to the next one because they think it's not working, or they couldn't be bothered waiting for it because our attention spans are terrible these days. So how fast your website loads is really, really important as well. So some of the factors that can affect that are if you've got too many plugins and too many widgets sitting in the background. So if in your website you've played around with some themes and you've tried some different plugins and things like that, if you're not using the plugin anymore, deactivate it and remove it. You don't need it, and it's sitting in the background is just going to slow your site down. Another thing can be the size of the images on your website. So we can optimize our images through Photoshop. If you're exporting and you know how to save as a web optimized image, I recommend you do that very, very highly. If not, you can find programs on the internet. If you just search for image desizer or image shrink or image optimizer, you'll find some stuff. There are also plugins. I'm pretty familiar with WordPress, and I know there are some plugins in there like Smush that you can use to shrink all the imagery on your website so that they still look the same quality, but the size of them is actually smaller, so they load quicker. If you've got too much video content as well, I would recommend, if you can, to just embed video content from YouTube. So create a YouTube channel. If you're uploading videos all the time, upload your videos to YouTube and link them back through to your website, so the actual file isn't sitting in the back end of your website that has to load every time that someone looks at it, because that will slow it down as well. So on those two topics, Google do have some really cool free tools that you can use. One is the mobile friendly test, and the other one is the Google Page Speed Insights. Now I'm going to put links to both of these in the description of this video so that you can jump on there. You just put in your website URL and the site will run a report for you. It'll give you a rating. It'll say yes, the site is mobile friendly, or no, it's not. And it will also give you a bit of a report on if there's any errors or any issues with the page loading on a mobile site and what they are, and that will give your web designer some ideas on what they need to address and what they need to fix. And the Page Speed Insights is the same. It'll give you a rating. It'll tell you how fast your site loads on a mobile device, how fast it loads on a desktop as well, and it will also give you a report and suggestions on things that you can do and change in the back end of your website to make your page load faster. So if you have a faster loading page, Google is going to like it better as well, and if you have a mobile friendly page, Google is going to like it better